Bhavani, I'm sending you some pictures of Jal Jhulni also today.
Great, sir. I'm sir. Incidentally,
So we are live now.
today. I'm fasting.
Ekadashi,
No,
that's
we
why
are
I
live
remember you.
now.
That's why I remember you so much.
7 o'clock.
So good
I
to
was
go.
telling my wife we would have been here today.
I know, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Prithvi Singh Kanota from the batch of 1990. It is my proud pleasure to present you this first Mayo Culinary Genesis program. This is being brought to you by Mayo College and Mayo College Boys School Society. We plan to bring you this program on last Sunday of every month. The idea of starting this series is for presentation in the connect with the alumni through medium of gastronomy. We will be bringing you recipes from the most famous family kitchen and also evergreen favorites from the kitchen of Mayo College. Today we have with us Himanshu Rathod from 2003 batch presenting you his family recipe Murg Handi Sula. Any questions about his recipe may be written in the comment section, which we will be happy to address at the end of the demonstration. I request alumni who wish to share their recipes to write to us at dejavu@mayo.oldboys.com and mayo.obs@mayocollege.com. Now I request General Kulkarni, Director Mayo College of 69 batch, to say a few words. Without his support, this program may not have been possible. Thank you. Over to you, General Saab.
Thank you, Prithvi. A very warm welcome to all those attending this program. As Prithvi mentioned, this will be the first in a series of culinary experiences related with Mayo and the families associated with Mayo. Today, before I start, there are two special events today. Today is the National Sports Day because it's Dhyan Chand's birthday and we just had a celebration. We've put out a video, some of you may like to see it. And the second thing is, it is the Jal Jhulni Ekadashi, and we've just conducted the traditional ceremony and come. But Jal Jhulni is really a cultural event for us. For all of us who are from Mayo, there is only one religion, and that is food. And food of any kind, in any quantity, and my own experience from my days, and I see it even today with the children, half an hour to 45 minutes after a meal, they are ready to have a full meal as if they didn't eat a thing. The other development that has happened from my time is from a small tuck shop. We now have a cafe, which itself offers some delights. So my request to all old boys is spread the word around. We are going to have many events of this kind. And as we go along, we will also offer you insights into the Mayo cuisine that was famous in my days and some of the things that have got added on over the years. So with these words, I'll hand you over to the chairman of our Mayo College committee, Randhir Vikram of 71 batch.
Thank you, General Surinder. It's in fact a pleasure to be all associated with this. Must compliment Mayo College Boys School under the leadership of our director, Lieutenant General Kulkarni, Mayo College Old Boys Society under his leadership of Colonel Bhavani, who's the president at the moment, who's put this entire thing together, along with Prithvi Kanota. And it's nice to have Himanshu to start with, who's done some remarkable cooking all these years. I'd like to also mention that Heritage Hotels and Mayo go very close with each other, and we have a lot of old boys. Some of them are just named. Is from Tamil Nadu, we have Mahippan. He runs a beautiful hotel, the Bangla, and he has excellent traditional food. In Chettinad, we had one of our Heritage Hotels executive committee there, and he serves it on a banana leaf, all his non-veg and veg dishes. Then we have people like Vijay Bedla, who does the Bedla cuisine. In fact, Viru is one of the persons responsible to promote him in a very big way. And we have people like Raghvendra of Pratapgarh, and Yadu Samod, and so on and so forth. And to top up, we have today Veer Vijay, who's come back to Jaipur after his 40-year stint with Taj as the CEO for Vivanta Group. And he started his consultancy, and he'll be, in fact, the moderator for today's session and the other sessions. So with that, thank you so much. I'd like to introduce you to ask Colonel Bhavani to take over, who's the president of the Old Boys Society and the person who's behind all this entire thing. Thank you. Bhavani, over.
Thank you, Ranveer. Good evening. Speaking last has the advantage that most of what has to be said has already been said. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Executive Committee of the Mayo Old Boys Society, who unanimously supported this venture. General Kulkarni, who is one of our own and is always there to support the Mayo College Old Boys Society. Harmeet Singh, Vice President of the Mayo College Old Boys Society, and President MAD, who incubated this idea, and without his inputs, it would not have been possible to make this happen. Veer Vijay Dundlod, who brings his vast experience and has been actively involved with curating the show with Ranveer Mandava and Prithvi Kanota. As we go along with this series, Veer Vijay and Prithvi will be curating the show. Please send in your suggestions, and we will try and improve as we go along. Thank you. Can I now request Veer Vijay to introduce you to the concept? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bhavani. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Khamagani. For me personally, it's really a pleasure to be once again associated with my old favorite school, Mayo College. I've also had the privilege of having my father and his 3 brothers in Mayo, and of course, the nephews and nieces who are still going on. My father passed in 1938, so we have a long association. And to coming back to any link with Mayo is a great privilege and a pleasure. This, I think, is a very apt exercise which has been done by the Old Boys and the Mayo school itself, because it, I think, brings in beautiful cuisines of all over, not only Rajasthan, but all over India and other parts of the world. I think Ranveer has very rightly explained some of the famous heritage cuisines which have already been very popular, and people from Mayo have been encouraging it. I think it's also an opportunity for us to support our brethren during this pandemic time. People who are running heritage hotels, people who are making this food and selling it out. I think it's a great opportunity for us to showcase that and let people know about this. So I think it's a beautiful time. I think just before we start, I think I must mention that food has certain intricacies in how the food habits have started. The first, of course, food comes from the people pick up the food habits for the various geographies that they are based on. So, of course, if you are on a coastal area, you will have a lot of seafood. If you are in Andhra, where you make the best chilies, then your spicy food is surely going to be available. We are today talking about Rajasthani cuisine, and Rajasthan, of course, being a semi-arid zone or sometime arid, had very difficulty in growing vegetables. So mostly the Marwadis who were vegetarian used to have food which was mostly stored, like the belas and the gattas and the scare sangri and such things. And the Rajput cuisine used to be mostly the game meats and the meats which were available. The second thing, of course, is a very important part is the castes. And in the old system, we had the 4 different castes. The Kshatriyas automatically had the meats, the Brahmins, the Vaishyas had the vegetarian food, and the Sudras had whatever was available and affordable. The third thing, of course, is the economic strata. And people from different economic strata use different spices and different qualities of the meats. If I take like a biryani, in Hyderabad, biryani is eaten by everyone. But a rickshawala's biryani will have 2 to 3 portions of rice and only 1/4 or 1/3 portion of mutton. whereas a rich man or a Nizam or a Nawabi biryani will have 2 portions of mutton and maybe 1 portion of rice. So it's very interesting, and I think as we go forward in different webinars and different talk shows, we'll talk about this. But today I am very happy to be associated with a young Mayoite who also happens to be my son, who came in for just for a year, also was his classmate. So we were talking about Himanshu Rathore of Nimaj. And so if I can also have Himanshu there, I'm going to be today asking him certain intricate, how did he plan this beautiful chicken kachri handi sula. We've all talked about sulas many times and had sulas in different occasions. But I think this is a beautiful recipe which can even be cooked now. As you know, the Nimaj family, we had Mr. Sham Singh Ji of Nimaj, who was also the head of our mess, senior mess. Unfortunately, not during our times. During our time, it was Nahar Singh Ji. But so I would request the hero of the day, the man who is going to show us how this beautiful dish is prepared, Himanshu. So can we first go on asking Himanshu what really made him so interested in culinary? I know you're from Mayo, you also had a stint with the Taj, and
Yes.
You're a naturalist, but how did you really pick up this art or the interest of culinary cooking?
Good evening, everyone. So my interest in cooking came from my watching my grandfather, maternal grandfather cook initially. And of course, my mother was also a great cook. I learned a lot of recipes from her. But my initial interest was from my maternal grandfather, and this story, which will come up now in this video that I've shared here, will depict exactly that, because that was the first fascination which I got towards food, which was when I saw him make this dish, which is a very interesting kachri handi sula recipe. And from there on, I just somehow started liking to cook, and then I was like the official chef for the batchmates in every party. And college days, even when I was working in the jungles with Taj, even there, all my colleagues would tell me, oh, cook something. So I'm not a trained chef as such, but I learned, kind of learning, seeing my mother cook, seeing other people cook, and then I started developing own recipes. But the base of my cooking is all Rajasthani, and the recipes from Nimaj and Chomu, which is my Nanera, which is my maternal grandfather's side. So that's how I started cooking
Great.
and developing interest.
Lovely to hear that. I know that you were with the Taj Safaris, and
Yeah.
while you were with the Taj Safaris, did you have any contribution in bringing a very interesting dish to the menu?
In fact, I did. Actually, a very senior chef from Taj, Chef Natarajan, was at
Yes.
Mawa Koti, the Bandhavgarh property, and he was trying to figure out a way to do the khad murg. So in the olden days, I had seen some khad cooking happening, and I knew, how the ditch is to be digged, how, what is the way to retain the heat. So I gave him some ideas. Of course, I did not tell him about the spices, but I told him about the entire technique of making that gunny sack wet, and wrapping the murg in it, and how the rotis are to be wrapped and how the masalas are to be packed, and kind of helped him out in developing that recipe.
Great.
So that's one
And-
recipe I helped out in.
Wonderful. So that contribution will surely be remembered. And I think before we really move to the dish, I also know that you're running Pradeep Bhavan, which is a
Pratap
homestay. Sorry, Pratap Bhavan. Sorry,
Yeah.
my mistake. Pratap Bhavan in Jaipur, and it's a homestay, and it's also famous for its cuisine. So, how is the response been to you, especially for the cuisine part?
So I've been running Pratap Bhavan Homestay since last 11 years now. We started initially, and some of our recipes got appreciated, especially our Bharwa Bengan, which a lot of foreigners love. They have a liking for aubergine, and the bharwa bengan recipe, which I learned from my mother, became quite famous. Of course, I tweaked it a bit by making it a bit sweet and reducing the spice level in it. Then slowly we started doing a lot of home host dinners, which was not for the guests who are staying in house, but for the guests who are staying in hotels like Rambagh, in Rajvilas and all. And they would come and spend some time with our family, and we would serve them our home cooked food. And most of them, in fact, all of them appreciated the food, and some of them even said that that's the best food they've had in India, which was quite a compliment for us because they were staying in such big 5-star hotels.
Sure, there's a great achievement of people coming from 5-star hotels to you and trying out your cuisine. Which are your top, I would say, 2 or 3 dishes, which or like I know of your pickles, and I've also had the opportunity of buying them and trying them out. My son took 5 bottles to Hyderabad. So, what are your top selling items? 2 or 3 of them.
So,
the top selling items.
Yeah. So our top selling items, see, we started Pratap Bhavan Cuisine very recently, which is it's been only 3 months, and we got decent popularity, especially amongst the Mayoites. So we introduced this thing called the Mayo Kati roll, which is the Kati rolls we used to get in the canteen when we went at Mayo, and a lot of people appreciated that. And we have a very famous recipe, which is the Khad Murg, which of course I'm not doing the whole process of putting it in the khad and cooking it, because it could be tedious, and we get orders every day. So I have modified it in a way. I cook it in an oven using the same techniques, and it brings out very good flavors. So we do that. And for the guest house part, our famous recipe is the bharwa bengan and this handi sula, this kachri handi sula, which is quite an interesting recipe. And the best part about this recipe is that you can cook different main, you can change the meat to potatoes also, or you can cook anything actually, any meat or any potato, even paneer, in the same technique. So it's a very interesting recipe. That's why I thought of sharing this with everyone.
Thank you, Himanshu, for letting us know. I think we'll come now to the main course, as they say. So the chicken kachri handi sula, I think very easy to understand, but the most I think interesting part, of course, and I would like you to please explain, is kachri, because I know that makes the big difference in the flavorings and the taste and the marination. So could you please explain to the viewers what exactly kachri is and how does it enhance your cooking?
So I have given a brief introduction in my video as well, but basically kachri is a wild variety of cucumber, a melon, which grows in the desert areas of Rajasthan. And what it does is it gives the tangy flavor, and it also tenderizes the meat. So kachri is used in a lot of non-veg cooking, because it especially in sulas, and if you're doing any overnight marinades, we use kachri, because like raw papaya would regenerate the meat. The kachri does the same job. It does a tenderizing job, and it also gives a very good tangy flavor. So as a khatai, we call we call yogurt or tomato or lime a khatai. Kachri is also a very interesting khatai, which could be used in any of the cooking. And it is very unique because it's mostly used in Rajasthan. Outside of Rajasthan, not many people are aware of it. I've seen some people using it in Madhya Pradesh, but not more than that. In fact, the green kachri, very good chutney is made out of that, which is quite tasty, which also I learned from Mama, so I know how to make that. So that's very interesting. But for the green kachri, you have to check each piece, otherwise it could be bitter. So you have to taste each piece, otherwise it could be bitter also.
Wonderful. So normally, I think our intention would be to do some live cooking, but this time, keeping in mind some technical issues and the situation, Himanshu has already recorded this recipe. So over to you, Himanshu, and if you can take us through this recipe, which you have already video taped, and then I would ask the viewers to please keep their questions and keep posting them, and I would be happy to ask Himanshu these questions or even answer them myself. So over to you, Himanshu. Rajat, if you can start the video.
Hello everyone, I am Himanshu Rathore from Mayo College batch 2003. I am a third generation Mayoite from the Nimaj family. I used to be a college monitor and house captain of Rajasthan House. And you must be familiar with the Nimaj family because my father's elder brother, Sham Singh Ji, was the mess in charge of the senior mess for a long time. So that's our one affiliation to Mayo College, which is very prominent and everybody knows about it. And my father was also the member of the governing council, late Brigadier Pratap Singh Rathore. So I have been a passionate cook since I was 11, 12 years old. I also pursued a career, which is my main passion, which is wildlife. I'm a naturalist by profession. I started my career with Taj Safaris. Then I came back to Jaipur. I started a homestay, which is a very popular homestay, which we've been running for last 10 years now. It's called Pratap Bhavan Homestay. And recently we started a new venture, which is taking care of my second passion, cooking, which is called Pratap Bhavan Cuisine. My maternal grandfather, who was also a Mayoite, Janak Singh Ji of Chomu, who was a very good chef, very famous in fact. In his circles, he was known for his cooking. One day I was just moving around in the house and it was raining outside. So Nanosa, that is my grandfather, maternal grandfather, he told me that, Himanshu, let's do barbecue indoors. So I said, yeah. But barbecue indoors, I had never heard of. I had always heard of barbecue being outdoors, which is sulas we made outdoors. He said, no, sulas, we will make sulas indoors. And I said, how will that happen? So he showed me a recipe, which I'm going to share with you today, which is a very interesting recipe, which involves a very interesting smoking process. And it is a family recipe. The smoking process is used all over India. It's a very traditional method of smoking. But the one I'm showing you today, the recipe, which is very unique, which I learned from him. And that was the first recipe I learned. So that is one interesting part about the story, that, you know, that was the first recipe, actual recipe, other than eggs and omelets, etc. I could not make any other recipe, but I could only make this one recipe. So the best part about this recipe is that you can cook it using different main ingredients. Like today I'm cooking with chicken. You could cook the same recipe with mutton, or you can cook it with fish as well. For fish, there's a different technique which I can share with you later. So that's about it. So let's just begin. Let's begin some cooking. I'll show you some interesting smoking process, etc. This recipe's name is Kachri Handi Sula. And we are cooking with chicken today. So it's chicken Kachri Handi Sula. We've got chicken here, boneless chicken, strips cut. I'll also show you how we cut the strips. It's a unique technique to do that also. And I'm going to add the chicken in here. While I add this, I'm wanting to start with another thing. For the smoking, we'll require some charcoal. Regular koila. We just pick up a couple of pieces. This will be used for the smoking process. So we got some ingredients here. We got some ghee, we got some yogurt, we got some ginger, garlic. This is kachri powder. I am sure people from Rajasthan are aware of kachri, but for others, this is what kachri looks like. It is a melon which grows in the desert areas of Rajasthan. It is used in a lot of Rajasthani dishes. What it does is it does tenderize the meats, and it also gives a very tangy flavor. So for the tanginess as well as for the tendering the meat. We've got some pure ghee here, which will be used for the cooking. We've got a brown onion paste, which I'll show how we do it, how we fry the onions and how we make the paste. We got some basic masalas, how we keep at home. These are some garam masalas. This is, we're not using all of them, by the way, tonight. We got some powder masalas here. This is red chili powder. I use the Mathania chili, which gives a good color and it's not too sharp. So let's just start with the marination process. I've got some yogurt. This is around 3 or 4 tablespoons of yogurt. I'll take a spoon and mix it with the chicken. This is around half a kilo of chicken we are cooking right now. So I'll put in 1, 2, and 3 spoons of garlic paste, some ginger paste. We got 3 medium-sized onions, fried and then ground to paste. So this is the 3 onion paste. Spices, little bit of turmeric, some salt to taste, of course. Chili, I like to eat spicy, so I don't know. It's up to your liking. So I'll put it around 2.5 teaspoons of chili. There's no coriander powder which goes in this. It's a Sula recipe, so Sula doesn't require coriander powder. Kachri powder, 2 teaspoons of kachri powder is enough. So we've got everything in now. I'll mix it around really well. It should form one consistent color. We should mix it around really nicely. We're talking about fish. So fish is a little bit of different technique. Like I'm mixing the meat with the marinade right now. For fish, you have to keep the fish separate in a separate bowl, and the marinade, you mix it separately, and you smoke the marinade separately and the fish separately. So this is where the interesting part begins. I was looking at my nanosa and saying, this is normal, you're just doing normal cooking. It doesn't look like barbecue right now. He said, wait. Then he got this coal. We are, getting the coal ready here on the stove. That time there used to be sigdis around, and there was a sigdi around there which had a live coal ready. So he picked up a coal from the sigdi which was kept close by. He then put in a katori like this inside the masala, a clean katori. And this is what fascinated me. This was the first time I was seeing dhungar happening. It's a common process nowadays. And he took a coal like this, ready coal, put it in here. He told me to get some cloves. I got a few cloves and some ghee on it, and you'll see smoke coming out of it. So this was interesting. So we need to trap this smoke, and we should not let it escape, so we put some weight on it, and we'll give it around 5 minutes, not more than that. This will set in the smoky flavor, which is the interesting part about the recipe. And while this is getting smoked, I've just taken this handi and I put it on full heat. I'll add some ghee to the handi. Should be it. And superheat the ghee, and after superheating the ghee, we will add some cumin to it. A teaspoonful of cumin. Our marinade is ready and smoked, and the jeera, the ghee is hot enough now, so we'll add some jeera. It starts, kind of sizzling. You have to wait till it becomes golden brown. It should not burn. It should not become black. And we were talking about a rainy day, and it started to rain a bit today. So just put everything in. Initially, it sticks to the bottom a little. So you have to be very careful initially to give it a good stir. Otherwise, you'll get some burnt tulas. Give it a good stir like this. And once you give it a good stir, it will not stick anymore. This is very thin strips of chicken we've cut, so it will take not more than 10 to 15 minutes to cook. We give it a good, we reduce it very nicely, and it will be done. So you can see here the ghee has come up nicely, and the masala is almost drying up now. We have to keep it really dry because it's a Sula preparation, because Sula is a barbecue recipe, where, as I told you, and it's supposed to be cooked on skewers, like my nanosa did, very slowly, cooking it for hours and hours. But here we've done it in a pot roast style, and this is the first recipe I learned from him. Here, this is how it looks like. So this recipe is, it's got a lot of value for me, because this is the first recipe I learned to cook. And from there on, that's my beginning to my passion for cooking. I learned a lot of recipes from my mother, Jai Kirti, a few from my Nanisa, from Nanosa, from Sham Singh ji in Nimaj, and many others in the family. I have continued to do so. Even now I try and learn new recipes. Lately we've just started Pratap Bhavan Cuisine, where we are offering most of these recipes, and some very unique pickles, which are mutton and chicken pickle, which we are shipping all over India as well. So our chicken kachri handi sula is ready.
and it can be enjoyed as a snack, or you can have it with a bread or roti. But usually I prefer to have it on its own like a snack, and it goes very well with pickled onions. So that is how I would like to have it, but it's up to everyone's choice. That's our dish, the chicken kachri handi sula. So I hope you enjoyed watching this dish being cooked, and I'm sure you'd like to try it at home. You can get in touch with me, or you can ask questions. Most of it was very clear on the video. Thank you for being so patient to watch it.
So, Himanshu, that was a wonderful preparation. I mean, I'm having my mouth is watering, and I really wish we could have tasted it. But I must compliment you for a very well-made and easily explained. It looks very easy. So, is it really very easy to make? Can somebody just look at your recipe and follow your recipe, and will it come out well, or are there some intricate secrets that you have hidden?
No, it is very simple. It's not a very complicated recipe. It is quite simple, just as I showed. It's just that if you're cooking lamb the same way, goat meat, then I think it should be marinated for at least 3 to 4 hours. Otherwise,
Yes,
chicken.
I think,
it is
sorry, I'm intervening here, but there is a question which somebody's asked that
Yeah.
what is the amount of time marination may be required, especially keeping in mind different meats. So if you could tell us what is the different timing that you would require for marination.
See, if you're using kachri, 3 to 4 hours with goat meat is enough. Overnight would be lovely, but 3 to 4 hours is also enough with kachri. If you want to cook urgently, like you just need to cook and you don't have any options left, then there is a technique in which you use raw papaya paste. So you first you apply raw papaya paste on the goat meat and then wash it off. I like to wash it off. Some people, continue with it, add the masala on top of it. But I put it for 1 hour, raw papaya paste, and then add the rest of the ingredients after washing the meat, and it comes out really nice. Absolutely tender.
And will it be lesser for, say, chicken or
Chicken
any other?
No.
Yeah, chicken or
I
any
don't
other
think it's
vegetable.
required. It's not required for chicken.
You don't
Chicken
require
would
the papaya.
disappear. Yeah, chicken would disappear.
Okay.
If you add, if you apply papaya on chicken, you would probably get a paste of chicken or something.
Okay, good. There is a question where people are asking that is this dish that you are preparing, can it be preserved? Can it be kept for a few days?
In the fridge, yes, 2 days at least. If you freeze it, maybe 5-6 days, not more than that. It's not a dish to be preserved as such. For
Okay, understandable.
preserve, we have pickles, so you can try.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
continuing to that question, there is another question which says that what are the preservatives that you are using for pickles which you are making? How do you manage to keep them and the shelf life is longer?
I use a very traditional technique, Hukum. I don't use any preservatives as such. We just use natural preservative, which is lime and a bit of vinegar. That's it. And because the oil quantity is so much and we fried the meat enough, it easily lasts for a couple of months, if not more. It could. I have not got it tested yet in a lab, so only the lab can tell exact shelf life. But easily it lasts for 2 months.
Is there any particular oil that you are using for the pickles?
At the moment, we are using mustard oil, but I cook the same dish in regular refined oil as well. So it is a flavor difference. I prefer the mustard oil.
Okay, great. So these are some of the questions that are coming. I mean, I would be happy if there are any more questions which people would like to ask Himanshu. But I think what I could maybe wanted to know is that normally in Rajasthan, the oil that we use is always mustard. Because I know that is the medium of oil, at least in West Bengal. But is it normally used mustard or any other oil that we use?
Mustard oil is not used. I don't think I'm live right now.
Only for the pickles you are using that?
I do cook a few dishes in mustard oil as well. In Rajasthan, I would say more emphasis is on ghee and neutral flavored oil. Mustard is used, but I wouldn't say it's a regular. It's not like in West Bengal, each dish is cooked in mustard oil.
Yes.
Out here in Rajasthan, not all the dishes are cooked in mustard oil.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Only some people say the lal mas, which I still don't understand the recipe. Lal mas is supposed to be in mustard oil, but there are two schools of thought to that also.
But again, in Rajasthan and different homes and traditions, every recipe must be quite different. You know, it's not the same. I'm sure you must have experienced that. Have you felt that the recipes of, say, lal mas changes quite dramatically in different homes, different houses?
I have, in fact, when I started Pratap Bhavan Cuisine, I had kept a recipe called lal mas, which I have removed from my menu now, because everybody has a different expectation from lal mas. So some people want it in tomato gravy, some people want a lot of chilies in it, some people, some people don't want it in mustard, some people want it in ghee. So now what I've done is I make one curry, which is like the lal mas. I call it the home style mutton or home style goat meat curry. So that's what I'm selling. And every home has a different recipe for lal mas, so-called lal mas. So I don't think there is a perfect lal mas recipe. I don't know of any as such. Yeah, I can do a few variations. I can do at least 10 variations of lal mas.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know from you, that the recipes are always much more, I mean, each home has a different kind of a recipe. But wonderful. I think I would like to, because as I'm not getting too many questions at the moment, so I would like to also bring it back to Prithvi, who also comes from Kanota, which is a home very well known for wonderful cuisine. So Prithvi, would you like to take over and close it? Yes. Or is anybody wanting to ask any questions from the present?
I have a question from for Himanshu.
Please.
Himanshu, can you hear me?
Yes.
Being a vegetarian, I would like to know, do you cook vegetarian food also?
Yes.
And what is that? What are your specialties in vegetarian? Because you may have a lot of alumni who may want to know about vegetarian dishes.
Yeah, once I switch to live, then I'll speak. Yeah. So yes, I cook a lot of vegetarian recipes also. In fact, the recipe that I've shown today, I somehow forgot to mention, but the same recipe, you could do the same process and cook it with potatoes. Raw potatoes instead of chicken, you smoke them and you cook them the same way. They come out really nice.
Raw potatoes.
On a Tuesday, I've tried it.
Okay, I'll try and get back to you. How's with the same recipe, raw potatoes. I think we are done with it, and I hope the show was enjoyed by all and worth their time. I hope more people join us in this venture in future, and I would be happy to take feedback, suggestion, and how to improve and go improve it further. What I have, we'll be doing a next show on the last Sunday of every month, and next would be on the 27th September. And I already have a candidate who is already prepared for the show, is Deviratan Singh Masuda from 2011 batch. So I would end and thank you very much everybody for your support, and thank you very much Veer Vijay Singh ji for your expertise, and thank you very much Randhir Vikram Singh ji for allowing us to use the Mayo platform. and Director Sahab, and your IT team has tirelessly worked hard to put this together. I have driven Rajat Goyal mad on this whole issue. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Rajat.
Drive him mad.
Thank you, sir.
Himanshu. Thank you very much, Himanshu.
And thank you, Bhavani.
Thank you, sir.
I think everybody.
Thank you all.
Prithvi.
Thank you, and Avi.
And thank you, the star performer, Prithvi. Sorry, I would say
No, I'm just.
Himanshu. Prithvi has played a very.
Thank you for
important role.
giving me this opportunity, Okum. That was lovely, and so whatever you did, I'm the first one doing it. So now it's a trend which has been set.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you.
Prithvi.
And see you next month. Bye.
See you.